Hey everybody, it's the Coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. We are just moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With that, we're off to Pittsburgh for the home opener. On the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, we are at the confluence of the Ohio, Allegheny, and Monongahela Rivers at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, PA. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between our visitors and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Chargers, they come into this one after a loss in the opener, and they're in for another tough test here.
And what a battle for an organization to look at your schedule and see 2 road games to start the season and not have a letdown immediately. You've got to fight against that. They've got to come out ready to play.
The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. Ryan Tannehill will be orchestrating the offense, the top 10 pick back in 2012.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting out a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
Ready? 60 or.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. And the offensive starters here for Los Angeles.
It's a quick turnaround right out of the gate because there's a lot to cover in a short period of time. But the best teams, they simplify before they go play that Thursday night game. And they also believe it's way better to get your Thursday night game out of the way early before the body has been through too much. So if you ask people on scheduling, they want to play it early, not late.
It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming. Now a look at the defensive starters here for the Steelers. They played really well in the win last week over the Redskins.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
But just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Complete to Dorsett. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
First down, Winston. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. The rookie from Michigan there defensively, that's Devin Bush making the play. Offensive starters, here they are. David DeCastro, what do you think about him, Charles?
Brandon could not have been better trained at Stanford. So well schooled in the run game and the pass game, and especially in pro principles. David DeCastro could be an all-pro in the years to come.
4 down.
A second down throw for Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Star Lotulelei coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass, followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. And great yardage here all the way deep into Los Angeles territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 73 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9. A look now at our starting defense. They've had their trouble stopping the run, Charles. Currently 29th in the NFL in that department.
For some defensive fronts, playing the run is not the priority. It's playing the pass, right? They get upfield, they rush the passer, and sometimes neglect stopping the run. That's something that they have to work on and reverse a little bit. Make sure you play the run on your way back to the quarterback.
Now on second down, this is Gurley. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Todd Gurley. His first touchdown of the new season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. PAT up and good by Rosas. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down. Throwing on third down, Tannehill. He's got his tight end, Burton. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 45-yard line.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
So first down carry here for Johnson. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On second down now, it's Johnson. He's got the first down here inside the 30. Touchdown, L.A.! Duke Johnson, his second touchdown on the season as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
Let's go, D.
They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. On 1st and 10, Winston. And incomplete, he dropped it in the end zone.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Flag 22. Think you gonna get this, boy? You think you gonna get this? Flip it, flip it, flip it.
Jameis now on 1st down. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Khalil Mack. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Darren Waller, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Steelers have taken the lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Johnson on the counter. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
From the gun on 3rd down, Tannehill. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A very solid gain of 27. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Running from the gun, Johnson. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
On 1st down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. A quick throw out wide, caught by Robinson. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 20-yard line. On 1st down, it's Johnson. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Tannehill. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, here's Tannehill. This one into the hands of Burton. And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And Bryant's kick is good. And that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13-10. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And here comes a big tight end as he gets set for this next drive. And we roll the highlights of the game he's had. You know, when we talk about wide receivers and how you shut them down, what about when you have a tight end like this having a game? How do you stop him defensively?
It really changes what you're trying to do because defensively you're worried more about the wideouts. Okay, how are we going to cover them? The running backs, how are you going to shut them down? But the tight end is that elusive, unique player. Linebacker covering, cornerback covering, safety covering him. Always has the advantage. Usually has final answer against anyone who tries to defend them.
25 yards there on the catch and run. The first carry for Josh Adams. The former Charger All-Pro Eric Weddle on the stop. And now they're in the hurry-up. From the 38, Winston. And his throw here's incomplete. Devin Bush, the linebacker, was the one there in pass coverage.
But there was no trace of nervousness there. He was able to diagnose that play from his linebacker position, stay in excellent coverage, and bat the ball away.
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Winston. Able to find Waller. That's complete. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. Winston now to throw on 1st down. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Mine's 50, mine's 50.
Winston now. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Winston. And this is going to be intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman.
Hey, let's go. Interception, baby, all day, all day. Ready?
The Charger drive about to get going. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a moment. But first, the NFL season is in full swing. Let's show the good folks what we've got in store for us later this weekend here in Week 2. The best of the early games on Sunday may just be in Buffalo, where the Bills face a big test as they'll square off against the Cincinnati Bengals. Then later, they'll let the humidity die down just a bit in Jacksonville, a late start, where it'll be the Jaguars taking on the Minnesota Vikings. And then finally, the national game on Sunday night is a good one between the New York Giants and the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And a look now at the game so far for Jameis Winston. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to it.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. And going deep for Hill. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Let's go. 36. Wait.
Jameis to throw it. Gets this one to Hill. The 40, 30, 10, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Tyreek Hill, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
He went all the way into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. But no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Throwing again on second down. Tannehill. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now Tannehill. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Watch out for Hill on the return. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So here are the Steelers to take over on offense. They got the victory last week. That was against Washington, and now they lead this ball game as well. Set to go here, 1st and 10. Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
On 2nd and 11 now. Winston. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Well, that second down completion, something of a disaster, and now they're left with 3rd and long. From the gun, Winston. Waller taking it in over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Here's Winston. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
A heck of a play there on third down, but amazingly, they're still short for fourth.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in fourth and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. And this one hits at the one, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before and realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you can tempt to play the field position game.
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Hey, let's go.
Once more, Adams on 1st down. A gain of 3, 2nd down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On the ground, right side, it's Adams. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Off the play fake, Winston. He's got his man, that's Hardman. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Mecole Hardman, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
And the Chargers coming out on the field now. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now Tannehill. He's got Burton here. 7 yards there and a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now this throw caught left side. Now Robinson coughs up the football. It's loose.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
18 big yards on that one and a Charger first. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. To the air again, Tannehill. He finds Taylor, complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 17 yards on the play as they try to eat into this 17-point deficit. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he fights his way in for a Charger touchdown. Duke Johnson, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Chargers are able to close the gap just a bit. He's doing his part, but still facing a sizable deficit.
And he would like to do more, but he needs help from the other 2/3, right? He needs his defense to bow up a little bit, and he also needs special teams to maybe create some big plays and help them get back in it.
Here's Bryant for the extra point. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll run again with Adams. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Now, Charles, all things considered, I guess that's not a critical miss at this stage, is it?
No, but still everything helps when you're trying to finish off a ball game. And you're right, not critical in terms of the scoreboard and the team, but the guy with the golden foot, he knows he's only as good as his last kick.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. A throw complete to Dorsett. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Now Tannehill. Complete. It's Johnson. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
And the catch made by Johnson. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Looking to throw again on second down. Tannehill. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And that'll make it third down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. For whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. A carry for Adams. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook. Go play action. Toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
They go play action here on first down. And going deep for Hill. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Despite the lead here in the fourth, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Jabril Peppers, a former first-round pick, there on the coverage. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. They complete it to Hill. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll run with a big man. This is Adams. And he's got this down to the 35. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Here's Adams. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you watch high school, college, or the NFL.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Winston to throw. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, partner, I think the defensive fellas got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get him.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, finally someone said, let's try and put a stop to it and put people on him.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Charger drive about to get going. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yeah, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
Tannehill now to throw. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. One last throw here for Tannehill. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal, win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for Pittsburgh, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for our visitors, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.